this week on LandLeader Television.
We are the leaders of the land. Land is what we live on. It can be explored, built upon, and cultivated. Land holds our wildlife, crops and livestock, and the homes in which we live. It provides a resource for your family. It's what our forefathers settled and our brave fight to protect. It asks that you respect it, keep it free, and put back what you have taken. At times, it's purchased, sold, and traded, and it's passed on from generation to generation. So it's our duty as land brokers to be champions of conservation, habitat management, and ownership. We possess a deep love for our land and respect for all it provides. We are LandLeader.
This episode of LandLeader TV is brought to you by Plotmaster, Gunworks, Mahindra, MapRite, Rabobank, Tecumate Seed. It's been said that pure water is the world's first and foremost medicine. The scenic valleys and lush landscape that makes up Morro Bay Ranch is a telltale sign of the abundant, life-giving water that rises from beneath the surface. Let's join California Outdoor Properties' Todd Renfrew on a tour through the spectacular Morro Bay Ranch.
What a beautiful property, 2,240 acres, just minutes from the Pacific Ocean, endless hills of green grass, miles and miles of blue line creeks, year-round springs, lots of game, very private, deer, turkey, pig, bear, quail. Just an amazing property with lots of opportunities, lots of things to do, horseback riding, quadding, hunting. Take a ride with us, you'll really enjoy it today. The ranch has 65 acres of Class 2 soils, which is pretty impressive for a property this close to the coastline. It allows you to grow almost anything. You'll see in the surrounding areas there's a lot of avocado trees planted, and with the flat valley floors it really gives you the opportunity to plant some interesting crops on this ranch. The ranch is currently zoned ag, and it's in the Williamson Act, which allows you to have reduced taxes for agricultural purposes. It really is a neat feature in California that allows a rancher or a farmer to pay less taxes as long as they're continuing the agricultural use of the ranch. One of the real neat features of this ranch is you're just minutes from the Pacific Ocean. You'll see Morro Bay Rock from the property. You can head up the coast to Hearst Castle. San Luis Obispo, which is a beautiful coastal town, is just minutes below. There is a regional airport in San Luis Obispo. Cal Poly College is located there. Lots of things to do, and you're in between Los Angeles and San Francisco.
The Morro Bay Ranch offers plenty of grass to run over 200 pair of cattle, in addition to an abundance of wildlife, making a great investment for annual income generation and recreational activities. Because there's so much water on the ranch, and because the ranch is bordered by national forest, this ranch is excellent for big game hunters. The Morro Bay Ranch is an exceptional, well-rounded property ready for the next owner to come along and take advantage of the many opportunities this ranch provides. This segment of LandLeader TV is brought to you by California Outdoor Properties.
It comes to this moment. This is what he's prepared for. He's learned the science of long-range shooting. He knows how to select the right gear and how to compensate for wind. He's practiced. He's trained. Now, at 880 yards, he is ready. Gunworks, Long Range University. Visit gunworks.com.
Work hard, play hard. Register to win this Mahindra XTV or Plotmaster today in the LandLeader sweepstakes. Just visit LandLeader.com and register to win a Mahindra XTV 750C side-by-side or a rugged Plotmaster Hunter 400 all-in-one ultimate plot planning machine. Visit LandLeader.com/win today to be the grand prize winner.
Now's a great time to buy your next farm, ranch, or recreational property. The premier broker members of LandLeader represent the finest properties available on the market today, from working cattle ranches to income-producing farm ground, equestrian facilities and agricultural land to sporting properties and land rich with mineral rights. Let the LandLeader network help you find your next piece of land. Tour thousands of properties for sale online at landleader.com.
Hi, I'm Blaine Burley with Plotmaster Systems, and this week we're going to be talking about the Plotmaster Hunter 600. This is like a Swiss Army knife of implements right here. You can do primary tillage with it, you can do secondary tillage, you can plant the seed, cover it, and cultipack it all at one time, or you can do it separately. It comes standard with a 3-point hitch system right here. This is designed for tractors 40 horsepower or larger. It weighs almost 1,300 pounds by itself. When you add the seed to the seeders, it'll weigh over 1,500 pounds. It's got a plow system here in between the disc. And what we've done that for is that when you drop those plows in the ground, those plows pull that unit in the ground. We're using the down pressure of those plows to pull our unit in the ground, to keep it in the ground. And that's very important, especially when you're trying to do tillage on heavy or compacted soils. Most of my plantings, I do it in a one-pass planting system in there. I'm disking, plowing, dragging, cultipacking all at the same time. So it comes with 2 Versa seeders in there. These are our reverse auger brush systems that we've got patented. It's designed to plant grass seed and those hard to plant seed blends. But this is just a really heavy duty unit here, and I highly recommend it for anyone that's got a mid-sized tractor. It does a great job, especially if you've got a hunting operation or if you've got a ranch or even if you want to do it for hobby farming. You've got so many different applications you can use this unit for. For more information on this Plotmaster unit and our full line of products, you can go to our website at www.plotmasters.com.
The segment of LandLeader TV is brought to you by Hayden Outdoors.
Hi there, my name's Seth Hayden with Hayden Outdoors. I'm one of the broker partners of the company. We're out here at Blue Sky Farms, just on the north edge of Windsor, Colorado. We've got a 173-acre working cattle ranch right now with a couple homes, custom homes on it, and it is in a prime time location runs for a mile east and west on the north end of Windsor. If you're not familiar with Windsor, Colorado, it's a fast-growing community, has a small town feel with a great, 100-year-old main street. Windsor's also located in northern Colorado, about 50 miles north of Denver in what's known as the Golden Triangle, kind of equidistant between 3 larger cities of Loveland, Greeley, and Fort Collins. The median home price here is fast approaching that of Fort Collins, which is one of the hottest in the state, and it's just a great place to raise a family. Specifically about this property, it runs for 1 mile east and west between Highway 7 and Road 13 in the north end of Windsor. It's currently owned and operated by a cattle woman that raises grass-fed Black Angus cows. The ranch is highlighted with various water shares that deliver about 205 acre-feet of water. And then there's also a pond that comes in on a spring they have the ability that adds another 75 acre-feet of pumping value to the field. The whole farm is set up into 5 different fields of different types of grasses, some of which are sent to Florida to the thoroughbred market. The others are used to feed the cows that she runs. To go along with the cattle operation, the main house on the east end of the property also has a really well done equestrian facility. There's an arena behind me and all updated steel buildings with indoor stalls and paddocks, and just a great clean place to keep horses. The location of this can be a buy and hold for an equestrian guy who wants to run a few cows and run it just like it is now. It's also prime time development land.
The Mahindra Red Tag Sale means it's time to gear up for special savings, like 0 interest for up to 84 months, or up to $7,200 in cash back and savings. So take home the toughest tractor on earth with the industry's best 7-year warranty, and leave your neighbor green with envy. Work smarter, not harder, with the world's #1 selling tractor, Mahindra.
Tecumate Seeds grows big bucks.
Are you experienced in farming, ranching, or recreational properties? Do you have a passion for the outdoors? Are you seeking a profession in real estate and land sales? If so, LandLeader is growing our team of real estate brokers and agent members across the country. We offer a strong network, excellent property marketing support, real estate training, and national affiliation of land brokerages that is second to none. For more information on becoming a member of LandLeader, visit us at landleader.com.
The segment of LandLeader TV is brought to you by Hayden Outdoors.
Welcome to Wineglass Ranch. My name is Logan Primino. I'm a 5th generation here at the ranch. I'm a cattle rancher and dryland farmer. The ranch was founded in 1888. My great-great-grandfather took the train as far west as it went at that point to Elsie, Nebraska, and he walked the last 30 miles to actually right where we're sitting right now. And he built a sod house and got it started in 1888, and I represent the 5th generation here. It's a dryland farm and a ranch, so it's about 3/4 pasture acres, which is just native virgin prairie, never been sprayed, never been plowed or anything like that. It's as you'd find the land if you came here in a time machine before Columbus. So it's kind of a unique sort of ecosystem in that it's been sort of untouched and unhindered by man. It's like what we like to call virgin prairie. The rest of it is a dryland farm, of which we've taken just under about 1,000 acres and developed it for wildlife habitat. Specifically upland bird, that's kind of our target species here. My father's huge into bird habitat, and as a result it does bring in turkey, deer, and a whole host of other wildlife with it.
Every year, southwest Nebraska scores the highest in the pheasant population. Every year. The reason being is many things. The diversity that I talked about is important. The fact that if it is dry here over an extended period, we do have irrigation, irrigated fields that the wildlife can gravitate to survive. Years ago, when I was younger, I started to take an interest in developing habitat for wildlife. And almost every year we'll do some habitat project on the property. We've planted many rows of trees and shrubs and bushes. We've put in a lot of CRP. We have installed wildlife water guzzlers, which collect rainwater for the wildlife to drink from.
Hi, I'm Dax Hayden with Hayden Outdoors, and we're out here in western Nebraska. We're out with some friends and family and some of our employees hunting some pheasants on the Wineglass Ranch. We're here because we specialize in farm, ranch, and recreational real estate, and we love the outdoors, so we're out enjoying the time. It's the first part of December here in western Nebraska, and we have had a good pheasant hunt. We've seen some prairie chickens and just a great ranch with unbelievable conservation. Our leasing program at Hayden Outdoors involves landowners and conservation. We work with many conservation groups to make sure that the land is enhanced at the highest and best use to the landowner, and that usually means income, but also there are ways to enhance habitat, increase game populations, and increase income overall to the landowner. So we have experts in that arena, excellent folks with recreational backgrounds, ranching backgrounds, and farming backgrounds to make sure all of those things collide to give the landowner the most value. All of it is about value and the protection and the creation of additional assets with the land. I think leasing is important because landowners are looking for the best return on the ground they can get. In these days of tough agricultural prices and low cattle prices, I think it's important that they do that, and we have great access to folks across the country that will gladly pay for access to hunt and fish and recreate. And so it makes sense for those landowners to look into those possibilities. It's definitely not for everyone, but at Hayden Outdoors we saw it being done very wrongly in many cases, and so we wanted to manage that process for some of our good clients across the country.
LandLeader TV is brought to you by Mahindra, Haul More, Tow More, Go More. Gunworks, 1,400 yards right out of the box. Plotmaster, the ultimate plot planning machine. LandLeader, the largest land marketing company in America. Rabo AgriFinance, access to finance, knowledge, and networks. MapRight, mapping made simple. Tech Amati Seed, the big buck professionals.
Welcome to No Fences Land Company. We are the trusted real estate advisor to hundreds of clients for the past 11 years as they have bought and sold farms, ranches, and recreational hunting properties across the great state of Texas and the Sooner State of Oklahoma. To experience old-fashioned legendary land service, give No Fences Land Company a call today or browse our website at nofencesland.com.
Looking to sell your ranch or farm? Visit LandLeader.com to learn about our exclusive network of the best farm and ranch brokers across the country. LandLeader member brokers are the leaders in their areas, representing the finest properties and providing their clients with the most property marketing in the nation. From ranches and farms to sporting properties and vacant land, we're the largest land marketing company in America. Give us a call or visit LandLeader.com today.
Manage our pasture a little bit different than the standard rancher. We use what you would call the savory method is what some people call it, but it's rotational grazing is what it is. And you take any given pasture and they're all subdivided into anywhere from 250 to 500 acres, and we rotate our cattle through this system, sort of mimicking what the buffalo did before we got here. The buffalo roamed in incredibly large groups. It decimated an area, and then the buffalo left that area entirely and let it rest and grow back. So the Great Plains evolved as this sort of It evolved to take a beating and be rested. It did not evolve to be this sort of pastoral environment like you'll find in Europe where you take a bite every other day. It's really this different ecosystem that's evolved that way, and our rotational grazing system takes advantage of that. We'll typically only hit one of those pastures 3 or 2 times in the year. Once in the spring, once in the summer, and then once in the fall before we kind of go off our pastures. So at any given time, we're only using one of our paddocks for 3 weeks for the entire year, and the rest of the year it's rested. But when we do go in there, we go in there like the buffalo, and we just take off quite a bit, more than half, which is the standard. The standard grazing practice is take half, leave half. We'll take off about 3/4, and then we'll let it rest for as much as a year or as little as 30 days, depending on the season, depending on the moisture, and depending on a lot of things. And that's great for wildlife because what happens is the cattle are selecting their favorite species, but when they come off and they come in on this rotational grazing system, they take it all. And it allows for the Great Plains and the grassland ecosystem to repopulate, not based on what the cattle select for, but all of the plants have an equal opportunity to grow. And you'll find an abundance of birds, specifically my favorite, the greater prairie chicken, all throughout our ranch because they love this sort of system because it's what they were used to before we came here and kind of screwed with things a little bit. In addition to kind of managing our rangeland in that rotational grazing style that we have, we also manage our cattle a little bit different. And the first thing that we do that's different from our neighbors is we calve in June. And June on the Nebraska range is just the best place in the world. And it doesn't take long to June calve before you realize that this is kind of the way nature intended. Back when we were calving in March and February and April too. It's starting to improve in April, but it's a miserable, miserable time to be outside. You know, it's wet, it's cold, and you know, you're introducing this bovine into life in this sort of environment, and it takes a lot of care. It takes a lot of care for the mother, it takes a lot of care for their young to keep them alive at that time of year. Whereas in June, in Nebraska, I mean, it's just everything is green. The whole range has really come to life. It's when the deer are fawning. It's when everything naturally has their young. So when we calve in June, it's amazing because there are no problems. There's no scours, there's no issues that you have in calving. The calves are all a little bit smaller, which is a good thing because they calve a little bit easier. And it's part of our system of getting a little bit closer to nature and mimicking what would be happening on the Great Plains even if we were not here. It's really interesting because you'll see in some of the footage, it doesn't look like there's any fence. And it's kind of deceiving too. You have to be very careful. You need to know where the fences are because they can kind of really come and sneak up on you. So it's great for photographs because it doesn't look like it's cross fence at all. But what it is, it's Gallagher high tensile fence. And it's an amazing product. But what we do is we put a charge to this fence. Very easy to put in. I spent my youth building this fence, hundreds of miles in fact. And when we're not grazing our cattle in that area, the fence is not hot and the deer, antelope, and anything can just crawl right through it, jump over it or anything. Prairie chickens love it. The biggest threat prairie chickens have on pasture is barbed wire fence. They don't land like pheasants that can really drop into a spot of heavy cover. It's almost like an airplane versus a helicopter. The pheasants can kind of land like a helicopter, very precise and particular, whereas the prairie chickens, when you see them take off and land, they're coming in like an airplane. They can't stop. They don't have that same control. So they're beheaded by this barbed wire often, and you'll see it tons of times. We still have some barbed wire, and you'll see it, but the high tensile fence, it's great for prairie chicken because they can run into it and it causes no damage. It just bounces right back. So it's that high tensile fence is a big part of what we do, and it allows us to do that rotational grazing because putting in that much barbed wire fence would be a nightmare, and then managing and the upkeep on that would just also be a nightmare, and it also hinders wildlife movement, whereas this high tensile fence allows for free movement throughout the different pastures.
I feel it's a privilege and an honor to be able to take care of a part of this earth. Very few people have the opportunity like our family has had to be responsible for this part of Nebraska. I've always felt like we needed to improve the land. Our goal is always to try to get the land to the climax of when it was the best. And I think that our native range is very close to the way it looked before man was here.